off you go on a 2 week away trip. I believe you're going from Fiji straight to Sydney.
Yep.
What do you get from a road trip like this so early in the season? I know you've had pre-season trip to Palmy and things like that, but do you get a good opportunity to continue to bond as a team?
Yeah, similar, isn't it? Palmy to Fiji. So it's obviously the first thing we're going to get is a tough trip rugby-wise. Tough conditions, two good teams. Certainly at home, both teams play particularly well. The Drua have had a slow start, so I'm sure they're fired up for this week to get back on track, and the Waratahs have got a bye before we get there with a 6-day turnaround. So we knew when we seen the draw it was a tricky sort of trip, but yeah, what we do get is time together. You've got 27 players on the road. We'd have a lot of time obviously in Fiji, but it's sometimes quite nice to not have to come home and then travel again to Australia. It's the only time we're out the country the whole year, so we can put our passports away. Hopefully before playoffs if we need them then. But it allows us to then settle into the competition in New Zealand. So yeah, we're looking forward to it. It'll be a good chance to, as you say, just to continue to improve our performance off the field and get on the field, and get tight off the field.
You mentioned the Drua. They have had a challenging start to the season. Are you still aware and wary of the threat they'll present to you on Saturday up in Lautoka?
Yeah, I mean, they're a forward pass. If that hadn't been a forward pass against Moana, it felt like they were going to come over the top and win that game. Losing to the Waratahs, it was pretty tight, wasn't it, for a long period in that game? So we're under no illusions. Up until Moana, there'd only been two teams ever win in Lautoka. So yeah, we're well aware of that. We've prepared as much as we can with our facility and with heat in mind. But playing rugby in it's a different ball game. So yeah, we understand what we're walking into for sure.
In terms of team selection, you've given Callum Harkin the 10 jersey, which he went in there obviously when Brett Cameron went off the other night. Was that always the way you were going to go? Was Lucas Cash more in the conversation to perhaps have a start on his Hurricanes debut?
Yeah, that was the conversation. They're the two 10s we've got left standing, so it wasn't much of a conversation around them both being in the squad. But we felt Callum done really well last week. He's played at 10 before, particularly in NPC. So we've got enough confidence in that for him to start the game there. We dare see it that different. It was obviously early in the game last week that BC went off the field. So, and they've both been training there since pre-season. Like BC, Callum and Lucas were the 3 10s we had from November, and they've all had plenty of training reps, so now there's a chance to put it into action.
Any update on Brett Cameron?
Just that he's seen the surgeon, I think, today or tomorrow. He's had the scans. We haven't heard back. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look good. It looked a tough injury. He was in a lot of pain. So I guess we're hoping for a little minor miracle. That it's not as serious as maybe it looked, but we should know in the next sort of 24, 48 hours, I think, for what we're seeing today.
Other than that, you've stuck largely with the same men who got the job done for you against Moana. Was there any temptation to make further changes, or were you quite keen to reward those who did the job for you against Moana?
Yeah, we've seen the first 3 weeks as a chance to try and build cohesion. Obviously, we've had a few niggles for 1 or 2 weeks. The guys like Izzy are back in the squad. Dupes is travelling with the team, so hopefully he's fit to play the Waratahs the week after. But all in all, we sort of planned for the first 3 weeks to try and have some cohesion and stick to what we had. We didn't pick up too many injuries, and then we come home and obviously we've got a bit of travel again at the other side of this trip with then the force up in Napier. So if we can stay fit and healthy, guys like Tyra Lomax will be fit by then. Ruben should be fit by then. So there might be an opportunity just to freshen up a wee touch when we get home. So one game at a time though. We feel like this is the team to take on the Drua, and then we'll get ready for Waratahs after that.
I saw Passalio Tosi here. Is he travelling as well?
Yep, so he's travelling. He played for the Hunters last week, our development team. He got 50 minutes, so that was his second run. He got a little bit of time against the Chiefs, so he should be ready to go against the Waratahs. That's kind of our thought, with the 6-day turnaround in the heat. We'll hopefully make a few changes to freshen up for the Waratahs game if we can.
And Tyra Lomax, I just saw him out at NZCOS actually. He had 30 minutes, I think, as well for the Hunters. So have you got a time frame around him? Would he be on the Waratahs game? Yeah,
probably. He's going to play again this weekend. So the Hunters play the Blues this weekend. So he'll get 50, 55 minutes this week. It's been a long time out of the game. You know, he's not played since September or August, something like that. So, but real encouraging. He got through totally unscathed last week. He's starting to look a lot better and train around the field now. Scrum's going good. So yeah, we're hopeful he'll be, if needed against the Waratahs, I think he'd be available. But you know, obviously because we're on the road for 2 weeks and not ready this week, he should be ready for force.
Easy. All right. All right, Billy, well, on the plane off to Fiji, how much confidence do you take from the first up performance against Moana Pacifica? Not just the scoreline, obviously, but the way the team played in that game.
What was
The question was how much confidence do you take from the first up game until Brad interrupted.
Yeah, it's all Brad. The boys, you know, put out a pretty good performance, and you know, reflecting on that, we were happy with a lot of our game, and I guess we played Hurricanes footy with throwing the ball around, keeping the ball alive, and playing exciting footy, which we pride ourselves on, and back ourselves to be able to do that with the best of them. So we were pretty proud of our performance, and confident going into this week.
How different a challenge do you expect from the Fijian Drua compared to what you got from Moana Pacifica?
Yeah, the Fijians over in Fiji is a challenge in itself. We're expecting hot weather, potentially rain. So there's an element of conditions playing over there, as well as what they have to offer, and that is Fijian rugby, which is open at times, offloads, quick throws. You know, the way that the Fijians like to play, which is also exciting in itself. It's a cool brand of rugby, and hopefully we can control what we can control and play the game on our terms.
Talk about Hurricanes rugby. We saw a lot of that in the second half. A lot of tries, and first half as well, actually. With your outside back sort of feasting on the service that you gave them. Is that a strategy that you're keen to employ again this year? I mean, it's in the Hurricanes' DNA, I guess, but you're keen to, as midfield back, set up your outsides as often as you possibly can.
Yeah, for sure. As you said, it's in our DNA. Hurricanes have always had awesome backs and awesome outsides. So, we pride ourselves on being able to attack the best space where that is, and hopefully the boys outside us double them down a few more times this year.
Now, did Josh Morby call for that pass from Fehe? Or I'm trying to get to the bottom of this. I mean, why on earth would... I mean, Fehe reckons he gave it to Josh so he could get it under the post and help the kickers out. But surely he dots that down. You dot down in that situation, don't you?
I'm dotting that down if I'm in Fehe's boots. But I guess it goes to see how unselfish he is. And he was saying he reckons it's Seven's background trying to get under the post for the drop kick. But someone has to tell him we're playing 15s now. But I guess he didn't want the hat-trick.
I look at this team, I look at these men who are lining up to get on the plane now, and the squad. It's a good Hurricane squad, man. Is there high optimism at what might be possible in 2026 from this playing group?
Yeah, I think there always is from our side of things. This group has been together for a while now, and we felt we've had the team for the last 3-4 years to do it. So nothing's changed this year. It's just how we can, I guess, put that into winning rugby and be able to do it for the whole year and put us in the right spot to be able to execute come playoffs or finals footy. But we definitely believe in ourselves and think that we have the group to do it.
All the best, man.
Cheers. Thanks.
All right, Peter, off to Fiji. You go with a bit of a spring in your step, a bit of confidence after the good first up performance and the win against Moana Pacifica. What have you, how are you feeling as you head offshore for the first time?
Yeah, I guess, feeling pretty confident, especially of last week. Got off in the right step, but we know Drua and Lautoka is going to be a different beast. So, we're excited for the opportunity, and we feel like if we execute our game plan and we play the way we want to, then it'll get us an extra step to getting that win. So, looking forward to it.
What are the specific challenges of facing the Drua in Fiji?
Yeah, obviously crowd plays a big part, and you know, heat and weather and stuff. So we're just going to control what we can control, and that's just our efforts around the park. And you know, they like to play with ball in hand and get offloads away. So we've got to try and negate that as best as possible.
How much has Braden Yossé been replaying his tries from the first game, stepping like a midfield back?
Not too much, I don't think. He scores a few of those, so yeah, I don't think he'll be replaying it too much. But nah, he's special. He's quick off the mark, strong ball carrier as well. So yeah, we're lucky to have him on our team.
Yeah, it's a strong loose forward group as always at the Hurricanes, right? Got Dupes, I think, travelling, but and maybe looking at the week after. Brad, yourself, Braden, Devon. What's that like? You know, as you all, everyone wants to play. You're pushing each other, but you know, how does the dynamic work in the loose forwards?
Yeah, I guess it's just healthy competition. We all push each other. We're obviously pushing for spots in the 23, but we're pushing each other to be better players as well. So yeah, it's like I said, it's healthy competition. Everyone's putting their best foot forward, so all for the benefit of the team, I guess. So yeah.
And obviously we saw Brett Cameron, unfortunately, ruled out for what we understand will be a significant length of time. How difficult is that, seeing one of your brothers on the ground, the green whistle, I think they call it, to get some oxygen? And how hard is it to refocus when that happens during a game?
Yeah, it's pretty hard. Obviously feeling for BC. He had a knee injury which he missed most of last year off as well. So to see, I guess him, get another one was pretty tough. But yeah, I sort of guess in the heat of the moment, it's just down to our leaders and game drivers to bring us together and refocus the group. So yeah, we felt we done that well. But yeah, obviously we're all hurting, feeling for BC as well.
Just finally, I said the same thing to Billy, but you look at this team and some of the guys in it. I mentioned the loose forwards, there's depth in a lot of position. Look at the outside backs, for example. You've got a couple of issues at first five at the moment, but you've added a massive unit in Warner Derns. Do you feel a sense of optimism about 2026 for the Hurricanes?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's always good having depth to fall back on. We got 16, 15 games, so it's going to take the whole squad, like Clark always says. So it's always good to, yeah, everyone's pushing each other for spots, and we know that it's not going to be the same team every week. So it's always good to see boys putting their hand up. Kashi obviously in this week, so looking forward to him taking his opportunity, and yeah, the whole squad's just staying ready. So yeah, it's good.
All the best.
Cheers, thank you.